everyone, Tony here for the Civ Sim channel. Welcome you to Combined Arms. Yes, it's finally here. Tanks and planes together, and soon battleships. Of course, we're not at that stage yet, but we do now have combined arms and realistic and simulator battles with aircraft fighting alongside tanks, which is super awesome and very incredible. And this video is going to be a short video on some of the things you're going to need to know in this mode. Okay, first of all, in order to get combined arms, you have to click on the tanks. Currently, you cannot play as the United States, Japan, or Great Britain because they have no tanks. Of course, as they get tanks, they will be allowed, but only the two nations, Germany and the USSR, are allowed to participate in combined arms because they're the only ones who have tanks. So basically, once you go there, you hit select and the to battle button, and then it will get you into a game after the queue loads up, of course. And remember, you need to make sure that you select tank battles, because if you select air battles, you will end up in an air battle and you will not be able to play with your tanks if you have tanks in the lineup, or of course you'll be able to fly the aircraft, but you won't be in a tank battle. So do keep that in mind. You need to make sure that you click on the tank battles icon. And of course, once you do join the game, you'll end up on one of the maps that has to do with the tanks. In this case, the jungle domination map. Please note that in realistic and simulator battles, you will only be allowed to select one aircraft and one tank per battle. You can fly one aircraft and one tank per battle. Of course, if you end up dead, shot by the invincible KV-2 or some other tank, you are going to be able to respawn into the game. If you're playing tanks, you will have up 2 more chances to go and have at it. If you are flying an airplane, note you will only be able to select one aircraft with no respawn. So once that plane crashes, you'll either have to select the tank or you're going to be out of the game. Unless you have another tank respawn, of course. As for the gameplay, it's everything you come to expect from War Thunder. As you can see, you can get the stat boards. You will have tanks and aircraft. They will be with the icons, and of course the enemy team will not be, you will not see what enemy aircraft they're flying or what tanks they have unless you select them, or unless they have been spotted, or unless you are in range to spot them. Chat works as usual. And again, on the right hand corner, you can see all of the information about who's killing who, who's earning what, etc. So that's pretty much standard War Thunder. Again, the map does look like a standard War Thunder map. One thing to note is that at the time of this video, you only have realistic or simulator battles that you could fly in, and that means that your flight controls are going to behave more towards realistic and simulator, so they are going to be a lot more prototypical of what would actually happen. So if you're going on a strafing run like I'm doing right now, please note that if you get too close to the ground, you can crash, so do be careful of that. And of course, you can attack tanks with the attack aircraft bombers. Of course, there will also be fighters in this game as well. And of course, you can always be shot down by a tank or anti-aircraft gun, so do be mindful of that. As for the in-game rewards, note that if you're flying aircraft, the air kills will go towards the aircraft, and any tank kills will go towards research for the tank. Again, as we'll see in just a moment. See, there you go. So again, you can research both your aircraft and your tank at the same time. Of course, tank kills will go towards the tank XP, and air kills will go towards the aircraft XP. So please keep that in mind, as well as unlocking other things like consumables and other modifications to the aircraft. So now I'm at the point of the video where I kind of give my overall impressions of this mode, and I've only played it for a few hours on the day it went live, which is just yesterday at the time of this video. And I have to say that it is fairly enjoyable. It definitely adds a new mechanic to realistic battles. If you're the kind of person who likes realistic battles, but you really don't like having to wait to fly 20 minutes before shooting anything down, this is definitely the mode for you because you're basically spawning in it like in arcade mode, basically, except you're with the realistic flight models and, of course, with realistic credits for killing aircraft, which means that you get you're in the action a lot faster, which is a lot more fun. And I just had a blast with it. So whether you're a bomber bombing the bases or the ground units. Again, you will have ground. This is a ground strike. Most maps are ground strike, so you will have those bombing points to bomb out. So if you're a bomber and pilot, you're gonna have fun with that. If you're a fighter, like in this case, you're going to have a blast as well shooting down enemy fighters and enemy bombers, and of course, enemy AAA and possibly enemy tanks, depending on the caliber of your guns, whether you have bombs or rockets loaded out. So this is pretty cool. Another thing you can do is, of course, you can always land and repair at some of the air bases. So that is another plus. So overall, this game mode, Combined Arms, is pretty fun. It's very exciting. You don't really have to worry too much about being a tank. As it is not very easy to hit a tank, and of course you do have anti-aircraft mobile vehicles in this game. Of course, the best way to prevent being killed is to remain behind concealment, um, such as rocky outcroppings, trees, and so forth. You're most vulnerable as a tank if you are in the cap circle, a respawn point, or if you're in an open field such as this, which is also the cap circle. This is where you're going to be most vulnerable, is when you're capping. Of course, that doesn't always necessarily mean that the aircraft's going to be able to hit you, because it is a lot harder to hit uh, than you think. Although, uh, of course, with a skilled pilot, they're still going to be able to hit you. So it really depends on the skill of the pilot, the type of aircraft that that person has, and the type of weapons payload that person has. But again, your best chances and odds for survival is to remain covered, to stay behind rocks, and to stay around trees and things like that. Areas that are not going to be friendly for aircraft to be diving in towards. And of course, if you're fighting other tanks, of course, that makes sense to be concealed, so that way you're not being hit by, you're not as easy to be spotted by airstrikes from enemy artillery calls, and of course from other tanks as well. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope I helped clear some things up for you and gave you some useful information. Please let me know what you think, rate, comment, and if you so choose to subscribe for more content, please feel free to do so. And until next time, everyone, this is Tony for the CivSim channel, wishing all of you a great day. I will catch you guys next time. Happy flying, everyone. Or, if you're a tank, happy shooting.